Hello. Um, I am going to be using Pentel Arts oil pastels for for the blue, the green, the yellow, the orange, and the red. And I'm going to be using ink tints for this, you know. And I'm just recoloring it. I'm recoloring the whole thing because it needs it. It needs it. So, and I'm going to be listening to Aliens while I'm doing this. So there you go. And I should probably do the yellow first because I want to do this first, but I'll do the yellow first. Hello everyone, and happy Pride Month, happy Rainbow Pride Month, happy LGBTAQ2, questioning a queer, two-souled and plus, month. And this is probably going to be one of my first like official, really, other than the introductory one where I show off my rainbow pride, my LGBTAQ two and two sold, and plus folder. Except for that, this is probably going to be like my very first video for that. And also, I'm doing voiceover here because, you're never supposed to really have dead air. So I'm obviously doing a voiceover at this part of it since YouTube and all the platforms have gotten so uptight about copyright laws and using music. I would much rather be a video editor who creates music videos, but I never got that. I very much would like that, but that's just not possible for me. And I would love to make music videos out of my artwork, but that's not possible. So, anyway, clearly my voice has come back now in this voiceover. When I recorded this video, my voice was still very weak. It was still not strong. Thankfully, I got my voice back to some extent. It wasn't a scratchy, rough mess anymore. It wasn't refusing to work anymore. But it was still taking quite a bit of air to get my voice to speak even when I recorded this video. So when this goes back to like the live action of me speaking, obviously my voice is going to go back, it's going to be very quiet. It's going to be very quiet. So I apologize for that, but I couldn't do anything about it. I did bump up the sound in this video as much as I could. But, I bumped it up as far as I possibly could. But there's no way for me to really audio edit it properly and cut out the background noise of the TV and people speaking in the background. In fact, there was even parts of this video that I literally had to chop out because the television got too noisy. So there is that. And sorry if my voice is starting to get rough now because I haven't really spoken and I haven't spoken much. Thankfully, I do got the strength back. But it is still taking me a little bit of air and my voice is still rough because I haven't been using it. I've been having to save it and just not use it to the best of my ability. So, but I'm glad that my voice is back and that I'm able to speak again. And I will definitely end up narrating any and all well, I don't know what else to call it other than gay videos I'll be doing this month, obviously, along with the rest of, this video here. So I'm happy to be able to be speaking again. Now I'll return you to the live action stuff here. So this is so new to me, and I don't know the first thing about this. I ended up realizing that the whole point is to layer on thicker and thicker amounts of, oil pastel and put it on top of, and not just taint the fibers of the paper like I was doing here and here. And one of the things that really helps with that is baby oil. Just flat out baby oil, you know. Um, if it'll, but you get the idea, baby oil. So, and I put it on, a napkin and I blended it and it blends really, really, really well. So I'm, you know, really glad about that. I need to redo this. I didn't I did this originally with watercolor, uh like water soluble oil pastels, basically like watercolor, like actual crayons, not like the British or Canadian version of, like watercolor crayons or colored crayon pencils, however they call it, but these were actually water soluble wax crayons. Um, and it caused my black lines that I had used to draw this to bleed, and I didn't like that. So, yeah, thankfully they didn't go too fuzzy, shockingly enough. Um, but the colors faded so much over time, I had to go and redo it. So, honestly, this whole thing was just to test out my oil pastels and see how they work. And the real question is, how in the world do I get? Because see, this has an open mouth bottle. How in the world do I get this onto this? You know. So I forgot you gotta wait a couple of minutes before you use it. I almost want to just try using my finger again. I'm so impatient. So you might wonder why in the world I'm recoloring something that's already colored. Well, it was so bad. The colors had faded so much, and they ended up kind of washing out when I did try to blend the wax pastels. The water soluble wax pastels is what it was. It was so bad that I promised myself that I would go ahead and recolor it whenever I had the chance, and now I have the chance, so I'm recoloring it. But I have to admit, I don't know if it's these oil pastels. This painting is probably at least 30 years old, and the oil pastels are probably about 35. I want to say probably not. This painting is probably more like 15 years old, and the oil pastels are probably more like 25 years old, 30 years old at best. So, and the painting would be like 20 years old at best. So that's really more around I think the time that these things are. But yeah, the oil pastels did not work for me. They did not work at all for me. Even though I use baby oil, I use baby oil. I used my finger. I finally gave up and started using my finger. The napkins were being all torn up. It was a mess. I was not happy with it at all. I used to really like oil pastels, but this, well, now the same problem that I had before. Can I erase these little bits? Well, it's a lot better, but it's a mess. I'm just gonna go ahead and clearly I can't clean this up. I would literally have to color in all these areas white. So I'm not happy about that in line of oil colors, you know. So I tried doing a voiceover for the area, the part of this right before here, where I actually took a pencil topper eraser and just an average everyday older eraser, and I erased all the bits and pieces and smudges and whatnot of oil pastel. So that's really surprising that I was able to take just an everyday old eraser and erase oil pastel. But every time I tried to do that voiceover and paste it on, the voiceover was so much longer. So I'm doing that voiceover here now for coloring in this treble clef. I don't know, major clef. I don't know, whatever this musical symbol is. So, and yes, I'm using, you know, I was wondering if these little things would work, but they do. So I'm glad. I'm glad that they're able to color on top of the wax pastels. So there we go. Well, I colored this one first with, you know, the water soluble wax crayon. So I was wondering how this would go. I'm glad that I was able to color over the top of it. I'm wondering if I should liquefy it at all or if I should just leave it. Either way, I'm at a loss right now as of what to do with this, whether or not I should finish it off or, you know, who knows what. So that's the end of this voiceover, and that's the end of this video. And happy lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, asexual, questioning, queer, two-souled, and plus, and you know, everything else, Rainbow Pride Month. And I really love rainbows, and I really love being able to make art with a purpose and make art with a point to it. Not just making art that just looks good and it's pretty and you hang it on the wall, but it actually has a point and a purpose to it. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. And thanks for watching this video. Video, I mean. Bye. So this video was about 60 minutes long, so there you go.